Hi, I'm Ian Small and I volunteer at Severndroog Castle on Shooters Hill in the Royal Borough of Greenwich. And every day during the Severndroog Online Festival, I'll be featuring different aspects of the castle in a series of talks. And today I'm going to be talking about Severndroog Castle, the working castle. The tower was intended to be a monument to Commodore Sir William James, and we know that Lady James used it as a summer house for entertaining her friends. There are historic records that there were exhibitions in the Lady James room of souvenirs from her husband's time in India, where he was supporting Robert Clive's controversial plans to conquer India on behalf of the East India Company. So there would have been his ceremonial sword, his uniform and a model of his ship. Do we think there would have been paintings of battle scenes on the ceilings? But there's no trace of them now. And there are no artefacts left now from Sir William and Lady Anne. The castle passed to their grandson, who inherited the title Lord Radcliffe, an Irish peerage, from his other grandfather. And Lord Radcliffe's descendants owned an estate in Nottinghamshire, which was all auctioned off, including any contents, in 1911. During the time of the Napoleonic Wars, the Severndroog Castle was used as a triangulation point. The army wanted accurate maps in case Britain was invaded by France, and the country was divided up into triangles with surveying devices called theodolites on each of the three corners. Surveyors were sent out to map the countryside with poles of a particular length, hence the old measurement of a pole and a rod and a perch that you might remember from the back of old exercise books. The result, the Ordnance Survey, produced some of the most accurate maps that were ever made. All British maps to this day are based on the Ordnance Survey, and it's still regularly updated. The castle has been a place of recreation, and in another talk I will recount the story of a social event in 1836. And of course, prior to COVID, we had lots of entertainment going on here all the time. The castle also did serve as a military purpose, as a lookout point in both World Wars. Now, it's not widely known that the Germans actually bombed London in the First World War. They sent over airships, Zeppelins, to bomb London. And there are details in our archives of a bombing raid that affected the Progress Estate that you can see from the top of the castle in 1916, when several houses were virtually newly built then, were destroyed and several people were killed in the local area. The castle came into public ownership in 1922, and my earliest memories of Severndroog Castle probably in the early 60s, when my family moved into the area and I discovered it by accident. In those days there was just a little tea room on the ground floor, and you could go up to the roof at your own risk because there was no safety rails up there then, for a few pennies. And the intermediate rooms weren't open to the public. Since then, of course, the tower's undergone a transformation and has been brought back into life, as I'm sure Lady Anne intended it to be used, to inform, educate and entertain people. Yes, it is a monument to colonial times and to a man of sometimes dubious reputation, but Lady Anne was a wealthy woman in her own right, and the tower she had built in memory of her husband is much more than just a folly indeed.